Hello there, YouTube. How the hell are you? My name is Vac, and we're here in this video to continue our discussion of the races of Crowfall. And in this particular video, we're talking about everyone's favorite frontliner, the Half Giants. Half Giants are one of the biggest and most notable races that you will see running around the battlefields of Crowfall, and they're a lot of fun to play. So let's have a look at their abilities and try to dissect them right now, shall we? So, have a quick look here. They get a 65 bonus to Constitution and a 60 bonus to Strength. And just on the numbers, that is a huge amount of bonus attributes at character creation. These guys are big, strong, and tough. No doubt about it. You go looking at their statistic caps, they have the maximum cap possible for Constitution and Strength. It just doesn't get any better than that, 350. Meanwhile, they have below average intellect, very below average dexterity, and spirit right down the middle. So that sort of lends them to one particular side of the spectrum, the physical side of things. They're not going to be your best casters, and it's really not even an option when we get to looking at their class, their class selection. But we'll look at that in a second. So, looking at these granted abilities, they have Brawny, which is an increased critical damage amount, which is just a base 10%, but still, that's 10% crit damage. That is nothing to sneeze at. That is not a small amount. That's a good bit of damage there. So that's an excellent racial passive right there. Followed by Gigantism, which they have to eat more. This is actually a negative, not a positive, and it kind of offsets all of the combat bonuses that they get. Sorta. They have to eat more. That's really not that hard to overcome. Any player who's been playing Crowfall for a little while is prepared to have their character eat. So they have to eat a little more. I'd say the positives far outweigh that negative in this. Making me mad is one of the greatest things in this game. If you get hit for a small amount of damage, the real big hits, not so much, but anything 200 health or less, if you start gaining stacks of making me mad, those stacks increase your damage bonus and your healing bonus. But more often than not, you're probably going to be using it for an additional damage bonus. So when people are nicking away at you, you only do more damage, which is going to do a lot in a 1v1 situation. So it really, even in a group situation. Sticks and Stones is their crafting bonus, and basically that's a plus 10 bonus to logging and quarrying sticks, stones. So, so they're a pretty good choice for an early gatherer, particularly logging and quarrying. Later into the game, of course, you're probably going to want to go with a Ganetian or somebody that can stealth around the PvP zones, but that's when you get later on and you get better vessels. So starting off, they're not a bad choice for either. Blood of the Giant is an active ability that embraces your giant heritage, increasing size, damage bonus, and healing bonus by 5%, but it can stack twice. And I mean, you get big, you hit hard, and you heal a little better too. So the healing bonus, again, this class can play cleric, and we'll get to that in a minute. So that's an incredible active, and they have a second active. Unlike most races only have one active ability, they have two, and they're both really good. So the other is Backhand, and this is an attack that does 133 plus 133% crushing weapon damage, and it stuns the opponent in front of you. So not just having an additional melee attack that you can strike with, but one that will stun the opponent as well is, I mean, it's just so good. It is so good. So these guys are really set up for frontline combat. Max strength, max constitution. They got everything you could want out of a frontline fighter. And then finally, dodge roll is just dodge roll. They got the basic human 10 meters, which it doesn't even look like 10 meters because they're so big. But there you have it. And so let's go have a look at what classes these guys can play and talk about our final analysis. So here we are, looking at the character creation page for Half Giants, and we can see here that they can play Champion, Cleric, and Myrmidon. Now, Champions and Myrmidons are frontline fighters. Champions tend to be two-handers, Myrmidons tend to be dual-wield. They have a little difference in how they go about it, but they're both essentially the same thing. They're heavy armor, either mail or plate, and they get out there in the front lines and they smash people. And you could hardly ask for a better race for either of those classes than Half Giant. They're a top tier choice for either class. Cleric, they're absolutely not bad for Cleric either. I don't necessarily know that they'd be my first choice for Cleric, because where they're going to suffer is where it really matters for a Cleric. Healing. They're not going to have, their spirit is really nothing special. They don't get a spirit bonus. They just have a down the middle spirit stat cap. And so where they're going to shine is they're going to be a big survivable Cleric. They're going to be just fine with all that constitution and the high constitution cap, but they're not going to be able to heal as much as other races possibly could. So, it's a give and take. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. This is not a bad choice of race for any of these three classes. So get out there. I hope you've enjoyed this. Have fun with your Half Giant. You're gonna love them. You're gonna love them. So that's all we had to talk about today. That concludes our talk about the Half Giant. If you liked what you saw here today, I hope you could give us a like or a subscribe. It would surely help us grow, help us get more eyeballs on the channel, and we'd appreciate it. If you'd like to join our gaming community on Discord or join our guild, Reckoning, you can do so in links in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do that as well. So that'll wrap us up. I'm Vac. Till I see you guys again, be cool, keep gaming. I'm out of here.